What's happening, everyone? JayShockblast here, and check it out. Gotham Knights is easily one of my favorite games of 2022. I've absolutely loved going through this multiple times, getting the Platinum Trophy on PlayStation 5, and all of the achievements on Xbox Series X. But even though I love the game, there are definitely some changes I would really love to see them make that would make the game even that much better. So in this video, we are going to talk about 5 things I think that Gotham Knights should do moving forward with the game to make it better. So let's just get right into it, and I hope you guys enjoy, and let me know what you would do to make Gotham Knights better. So the first thing that I would change if I was WB Games Montreal is the way that suits and transmogs work in the game. They've done a fantastic job of making these suits customizable so that a lot of players can choose the way they want them to look. But it's a little convoluted, and I know what they were going for, but I think it can be done a lot better. So let's take our suits as an example. You have to craft and find different suits that are going to be your actual gear in the game, and that is how you actually unlock some of the styles. In this case, I'm wearing an Eternal gear piece, but I've applied a Transmog for Shinobi. So what happens if I want to I get a better suit, I get a better piece of gear, and it's not what I want, and I'm not able to actually alter it to look the way that I want it to. So here you can see I've applied the Transmog, but if I want to make any alterations, I have to do it to the Eternal suit. So in essence, unless you find the absolute perfect piece of Shinobi gear, you're never going to be able to alter it. And like I said, they have done a fantastic job of creating some really amazing different options where you can make the character your own. But you can only do it if you happen to find the exact gear piece that you're looking for. And I can tell you, as somebody that has a Platinum Trophy and every single achievement on Xbox One, this isn't as easy as you think, okay? I have played probably 80 plus hours on Xbox, fighting League of Assassins, League of Shadows, non-stop, and I still have not unlocked the Shinobi Transmog, because I've never found an actual gear piece that is Shinobi. So it's a great idea that they had, where you're able to find these amazing different styles and apply them as transmogs just in case you don't get the suit that you want. But it still leaves a lot of players wanting, because I want to apply Shinobi right now, and I want to use the colorway and the cowl and all of that I want. So don't lock this on the transmogs. And when it comes to suits like Knighthood and Talon and Nightwatch and Promethean New Guard that don't actually have any form of customization like boots and gloves and symbol and cowl, just make it so that we can apply the colorways. And I don't really feel like that would be a very hard change as far as applying colorways to some of these other suits that are not necessarily transformable. But this is a change that I really believe would go a very long way, would be universally appreciated, because look, these colorways and these transmogs are awesome, okay? There are so many amazing suits, but you're not always going to get the exact gear piece that you want. It's a little hard to hunt, a demon legendary gear piece and hope that the exact one drops that you want. I understand this game is not a live service game, but a lot of people are treating it that way, and that's a good thing in a lot of ways, because it means they want to play the game, they want to love the game. But the problem is, Beyond, you're only going to get a Beyond gear piece with one mod slot. You're never going to get a legendary Beyond gear piece, and I want to be able to change these suits to be the way that I want. So I really strongly, passionately feel that the idea behind how transmogs works should be changed. They should absolutely be able to be customized fully, and I don't really think there's anything lost there. It seems like an easy way to please a lot of people. while we're talking about gear, let's talk about the second thing that I would change. I appreciate what they were going with when it comes to the gear system, and I've had a lot of fun trying to find amazing epic gear pieces, kind of like this one. This is a really good gear piece, I think. It's a 4 mod slot legendary concussive pistol, and finding stuff like this has been great. But one of the issues that a lot of people have been having is just keeping track of everything. There ends up being a lot of stuff to sift through. There's no way that I can find where I could say, you know what, I never want this ever as long as I live. Can I just delete it? You have to kind of wait for the game to do it for you. And another thing is mods. Like, look at my mods. My mods are an absolute mess. I wish there was a way to just kind of batch delete them. All right, so this is gear in general. I think it goes a long way. It is kind of a looter shooter in a way. It is very Borderlands-y, and there's definitely a great way that you can go through and make this a lot better. All right, you know, we got right here, we got cryogenic pistol. I'm not going to craft this because, you know, my nth metal is not infinite, but, you know, it's definitely something that's nice to have that if I can down the line, I would consider. But, you know, I'm never going to need any of these jumpstart pistols, these level 40 blue pistols. I don't need anything with 1 mod slot when I already have crafted, you know, this amazing piece right here. So I just feel like there should be a way to go through the blueprints and delete them if you know you're not going to need them, and go through the mods and just mass select the ones you want to get rid of. I know that there is a benefit theoretically where I can sit here and I can take, you know, this, I don't have really a level 40 that's not purple, but like, let's just say right here, okay, I have this piece right here, that is a white 39, and I can select that, and then I can just go all the way down here and select 4 30s, and I'm turning that white 40 or 39 into a purple 39, which just makes it better. So yeah, it's good to go through that, but it's so time consuming, and this seems to be one of the biggest complaints that I have, is the way that the mod chips kind of stack up. And again, they do auto delete as they become obsolete, but I kind of want a little bit more control where I can say, you know what, I just want to mass delete all of these and just be done with it, you know, and there's not an option to do that. And the same goes with crafting of the different weapons. You have to wait for them to become obsolete, but I'll tell you what, right now, I do not and never will need these lucky rounds ever again, and I wish I could just get rid of it now to not have to have it saved and go through with it. So yeah, that's definitely a change I would make right there. The third major change that I would make applies to the actual chapters of the game. So here you can see in my New Game Plus playthrough, I'm not that far in on PlayStation. I'm only at the rabbit hole, and then I've got the Harley, the Clayface, and Mr. Freeze missions all lined up. The way that they actually do this is pretty great, and then you can actually go over to the database, and you can find different closed case files. So once you've closed a case file, I wish there was a way to go into here and just choose to play it again, and it dumps you off exactly where you would be when you start the mission. And once you complete the mission, it brings you either back to the Belfry or back to where you were when you launched the mission. This gives infinite replayability once you have New Game Plus going, once you get to the end. Because look, let's face it, you know, this again is not a live service game, but people are looking for every possible way they can to just play the game over and over and over again. And once you have all of this done on New Game Plus, you know, what more is there to really do other than just keep running around fighting crime, which is not bad. And hopefully there will be DLC in the future, and I feel like Heroic Assault will change some of that. But you know what? Sometimes you just want to go through and you want to fight Talia al Ghul all over again, or you want to fight that last Clayface battle all over again, and there's really no option to do it. one of the reasons I know a lot of people love to do stuff like this is because they want to see the cutscenes with different suit variations and looking a little bit different, or they want to go through and they want to see how this all plays out with the different characters, rather than having to go through it in a whole new story, in a whole new game plus, where you kind of have to start over and you're missing stuff. Why not just give people the option to just go right into the database, go right into closed case files, and say, you know what, I want to go fight right here. I want to go do Blackgate Blues all over again, but this time I want to use Robin. Or maybe there's DLC down the line, and you know, I want to go do this as Catwoman and see how that goes. I don't know if that is ever a thing that they would do, but still, I digress. It would be nice. It would be a good thing. You don't even necessarily have to give rewards. It can be purely for fun, and that's how I feel about that. For 4 and 5, they kind of go together, and I'm going to go ahead and just make them one solid thing. I wish there was a dedicated jump button. Like, I'm mashing the X button right now on PlayStation, and he's doing nothing. Like, if I just want to jump around like a goof right here, it would be like fine. What does it matter? You know what I mean? And I wish that there were ways that you could kind of do jump moves, like jump in the air and kick or punch or whatever it may be. So a dedicated jump button would just... I don't understand why X only jumps in a situation like this, where I get close to the actual spot, and then I don't actually need to do it. The other thing that I would do, and it's going to happen here probably, of course this would be the time that I actually get it right, is I wish that if you fail a race, that you get the opportunity to just go back to the point where you started, okay? I've failed this race so many times, and I finally beat it on Xbox, but, you know, it's kind of like a little frustrating to get all this distance away, and I understand that it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but to get to the end and have to, like, run all the way back because you're a moron and you can't do this is a little annoying. But here we go. Watch, I'm going to actually probably beat this now. We'll go figure. Oh god. And of course I beat it. Of course I beat it when you're watching, but let's just pretend I failed, okay? I wish there was just a button I could press to go back to the start and not have to rush all the way back over there, because the place where I started is like, I don't know, right over here, and there's no fast travel close to it. This has bothered me because I'm not good at races, even though I just beat that one, all right? I'm not good at them. It's just not something. I'm not good at racing. I don't play racing games, any of that. So I wish that I could just press a button and go back to the start. But fortunately, I don't ever have to worry about this again, because I just got the Scarlet skin, Transmog colorway, whatever it may be, for my vehicle, and I'm never taking that off again. So let's get to the last thing that I would do if I was Gotham Knights. So the last thing that I would do if I was Gotham Knights is I would add more DLC. Listen, this is not a live service game. They never promised us any form of DLC, but this game is set up perfectly for DLC. If you look at those chapters where we have those missions with Harley and Clayface and Mr. Freeze, it seems like it would be so easy to set up and add more chapters and more villains to fight. I would love to fight Killer Moth, who gets referenced in one of the landmarks. I would love to fight Deathstroke, who WB Games Montreal famously had one of the toughest boss battles I've ever played when you start off fighting Deathstroke in Arkham Origins. So this game has a lot of opportunity to add more, and I feel like when you're at a point in a game where you just want more, that's a great thing. I've been to the studio. I know it's a big studio. I know there's a lot of people there. I don't know what they're working on next. They might already have a few of these in the can, ready to go, ready to get to, you know, they might be grinding them out, whatever it may be. But when I look at the way that they structured Harley Quinn and Clayface and Mr. Freeze, it's just perfect. It really is the perfect way to layer in more chapters of this story, and that's what I want. I want more villains to fight. I feel like they were kind of missing at least one or two more in the main story. I think everything story-wise would have been unreal if we maybe had 2 more chapters already, but the opportunity is there to do this over the long haul. And again, not a live service game, but Arkham, I feel like Arkham City and Arkham Knights both had all sorts of different DLC that you could play, and I just want more of this game. I really do. So that is what I think Gotham Knights should do. That is what I think WB Montreal should do. A lot of really cool things. There's definitely more ways to improve this game. It's not a perfect game, but it's one of my favorite games of 2022, and I just want more of it. I'm really looking forward to Heroic Assault at the end of November, and certainly if you have any other ideas that you would like, go ahead and add them in here. I didn't touch on 60 frames per second because I don't care. I really just don't. Obviously, if they can add it, and I would like to see them do it, but I would so much rather content and to be able to use my characters the way they are, because I think the game is beautiful as it is. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll see ya.